About 3% of all commercial pilots are women.
And I hadn't flown a jet in 24 years. I had set a goal for myself, and I don't like to fail. My dad was in the Air Force for over 30 years. He did 2 tours in Vietnam. So I always grew up on Air Force bases, sounded jets going over, interrupting school, It was so exciting, and I just knew I wanted to follow in my father's footsteps and be an Air Force pilot. When I graduated and went to pilot training, I was the only female in my section, and I only flew with a female instructor once. Pilot training was an incredibly stressful year, but you always knew at the end of it, if you could withstand it, you were going to get to be a pilot in the best Air Force in the world.
To get to fly classified missions and travel the world, just a total thrill. I met my husband at the Air Force Academy.
When I found out I was pregnant with our third, I determined I didn't think I could do a full-time Air Force flying career and a full-time mom. So I stayed home, walked away from flying, and didn't know if I'd ever get to fly again.
The first thing I needed to do was get my flying license current, and found an opportunity to be an instructor to do initial flight training for the Air Force. Getting to be a mentor to the new generation. It was a wonderful way for me to get back into flying. My very first student was a female, and she very sweetly wrote me a note afterwards how much it meant to her to have a female instructor, to have a role model. When I decided to go commercial, that was flying jets with GPSs and computers and glass screens, a very steep learning curve for me. Why did I put myself through all that pressure? It was a question I constantly asked myself. I think anytime we do something in a field that doesn't have a lot of women, there is a pressure that we are being an example for all women. And I do feel like we have to do it well, do it better. Your first 25 hours is with an evaluator, which my husband happens to be one. It was his job to make the welcome announcement. So he did right away say, this is my wife's first flight with Southwest Airlines as my first officer, and the cabin erupted in applause. So we turned around and waved, and my daughter posted it on her Facebook page, how proud she was of me, that not only did I tell her and her daughters, you could do whatever you want, but I also showed them that you can. I have been contacted by several women who have been inspired by my story and are starting their journey getting back into flying after raising a family. If you think you've been out of something for so long and it's daunting or insurmountable, hopefully you can see by my story that yes, you can. Just take that first step and see where it leads you.